You will at some point see, hear about, just know it. You're going to know what's going to happen. Narc X is going to start playing the victim. You know it's going to happen. They're set up to play the victim because they're always the victim. Remember, every person that they destroyed before you, they were putting in all the work. They were doing everything that they had to do. They were cheated on and whatever the story was. They're the victim. You're going to see them at some point on social media, or hear about it through a third party, or you're just going to know that I don't care what anybody else thinks. I'm a victim, and I know I'm the villain in somebody's story. You're the villain in everybody's story. You're the villain in normal people do not destroy life after life. Normal people do not devalue one man or woman to make another one feel good. Normal people do not act like they're puppeteers with other people's hearts, other people's lives. Normal people don't do that. So just remember, when you get frustrated, if you just got to shake your head at it, Narc X is absolutely, at some point, and playing this game the entire time. They get really frustrated when you expose them. Narcs hate to be held accountable. They do not like to be held accountable. That's why that narcissist would pick a fight with you when you tried to keep them hold them accountable. That's why when you sat in the car with him and you said, "Hey, this really hurt me to my core. This was like the worst thing that you possibly did to me," and if they even have to acknowledge a bit of that, they're going to immediately deflect into, "Well, you did this. Why did you do this? Why did you do something completely unrelated?" That's why they did that. They're not going to take accountability. They're not going to recognize who they are or what they've done or who they've treated like garbage over and over and over again. Doesn't matter. The history of actions behind them is completely warped. Narc X does not comprehend, will refuse to comprehend, to own up to what they've done. And they will go to anybody that will listen and not say nothing because they're about to get some pussy or dick, whatever. Or they will be around people that will co-sign to their shit because they're going to get some pussy. At some point, they're going to get laid, or they're going to get some drugs, or they're whatever attention, whatever it is. Maybe they just like drama. Maybe they're just a flying monkey or a co-signer. Those are the only people that Narc X is going to go to. You hold them accountable for who they are, especially if you expose them. Mercilessly expose them for who they are, who they really are. They're the victim. You're the abuser. You're the liar. You're the narcissist for being destroyed, for trying over and over again, for putting your reputation on the line for them, whether it was job or work or social, whether you're trying to build with them, do with them. You were the one that was not telling everybody why you were presenting or why you were proud to be with or whatever the case was with that narc. You were the one who was not telling the people what they were really about. And you know what that narcissist did? The moment that they stabbed you hard as hell, the moment that expiration date popped up, they know everybody's got an expiration date to a narc because eventually you see through their bullshit. You can't handle it anymore. You can't deal with it anymore. They know going into every association that there is an expiration date. And what did they do when they stabbed you? They started testing that date. And they ran around to anybody that they could, any friend that you had, any person, any whether they liked you or not, to try and use them, to smear your name, to talk trash about you. All because you were telling the truth about who they were and what they did. Normal people do not go around destroying life after life. So you're going to see Narc X doing that. Or you're going to hear about it. Or a friend's going to tell you. You just know it. They're playing the victim all the time. Listen, my friends. Understand this. That person is evil. You cannot exist in that negative karma. You cannot destroy people over and over again and it not come back to you. If they meet somebody who's just as bad as they are, just as horrible, lying, cheating, nasty as they are, just let it be. They triangulated you with somebody who was an alcoholic or a drug addict or a feminine thug or kicking their ass. Let them be with it. Narcs will get what they deserve. They will. You don't need to hold on to that anger. You don't. But don't forget what they did. And do not, when they ghost you and wait for that amount of time that they can weasel their way back in, do not think that they are reaching out to you for any other reason than to play games. They're game-playing kids, grown children. They'll sleep with anybody or anything. They will lie and scheme. That's who they are. That's what they do. They know the moment they start talking to somebody, what can I get from this person? How can I screw up their lives? Trust me, I have looked at a narcissistic sociopath in her freaking eyes. I remember all the history of actions that took place with this person. All the different dudes. God, just in the years that I was hanging around her, like all the time, the amount of dudes, every single one of them, especially if they had a girlfriend, especially if they were married, especially if they had somebody else, especially if she could get a feeling of sleeping with this one to get over on the other, and loved it if they didn't know. Didn't care if they found out, but loved it if they didn't know, because being sneaky and vile and nasty, backstabbing, thieving, just placing a wedge, the feeling of power over getting into a man's head and creating a wedge between him and the person that he loved, or friends or family, whatever the case was, got her off, gets her off. You cannot exist as this type of person, as that type of person. You cannot exist and not get yours back in the end. Put your faith in your gods. Put it in karma. You normal people do not go through life destroying others to feel better about themselves. That's evil. Live your life, brothers and sisters. Shine like a fucking star. My love to you all. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. And never again suffer that fool. Run.